Work on yourself silently, not for attention, not for approval, but for your future, because real transformation is never loud. It happens behind closed doors, in the early mornings, in the lonely nights, in the moments when nobody is clapping for you. You see, most people want recognition before results, but recognition does not create strength. It does not create discipline. It does not create greatness. Greatness is developed in private. When you keep going without validation, when you stay disciplined without praise, when you improve yourself without announcing it to the world. And here's the truth. If you can stay committed in silence, one day your life will speak for itself. People will notice your growth, your mindset, your confidence, not because you talked about it, but because you lived it. And remember this, if you spend more time talking than growing, you delay your own success. So let's talk about it. 6 quiet habits, 6 powerful disciplines, 6 life-changing ways to build yourself into someone success cannot ignore. 1, master your day quietly. Either you run the day or the day runs you. Success does not begin with huge opportunities. It begins with ordinary mornings, quiet mornings. The way you start your day shapes the way you live your life. Now think about this carefully. Most people wake up already distracted. They check their phone immediately. They rush into the day emotionally. They react to everything around them. And by noon, their energy is gone. Their focus is broken. Their mind is scattered. But disciplined people, they move differently. They protect their mornings because they understand something powerful. If you lose control of your morning, you often lose control of your day. A good day is not an accident. It is created. Now let's talk about practical wisdom. Mastering your day quietly begins with preparation. A farmer does not wake up and randomly throw seeds into the ground. He plans. He prepares the soil. He works with intention. And your life is the same. If you wake up without direction, distraction will choose your direction for you. So start your day with purpose. Wake up a little earlier. Sit in silence for a few moments. Think clearly before the noise of the world reaches you. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be today? Not next year, today. Because life is built one day at a time. The future is not built in the future. It is built in your daily routine. Now understand this. You do not need a perfect schedule. You need disciplined priorities. Focus on the small habits that quietly shape your life. Read something valuable each morning. Exercise your body. Write down your goals. Protect your focus. These seem like small actions. But small actions, repeated daily, create extraordinary lives. A plane leaving Los Angeles for New York changes direction by only a few degrees. And it lands in another city entirely. Small changes matter. Daily habits matter. That's why successful people respect routines. Not because routines are exciting, but because routines build results. Now, here is something important. Stop giving your best energy to distractions. Too many people waste their mornings reacting to notifications. Instead of building their future, protect your attention, protect your energy, protect your peace. Because wherever your attention goes, your life follows. What you feed daily grows daily. Now let's go deeper. Mastering your day also means mastering your emotions. Not every problem deserves panic. Not every inconvenience deserves frustration. Calm people make better decisions. Focused people create better lives. So when difficulties come, slow down. Breathe. Think clearly. A captain in the middle of a storm does not scream at the ocean. He steadies the ship, and that is your responsibility. To steady yourself, because emotional discipline is life discipline. Now let's talk about consistency. Many people start strong. Few continue quietly. That is why consistency is rare and valuable Anybody can be motivated for one day, but can you stay disciplined for months, for years? Can you continue improving even when nobody notices? That is where greatness lives. Quiet consistency. Success is a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Now understand this deeply. Your daily routine is shaping your identity. Every day you choose discipline, you become more disciplined. Every day you choose focus, you become more focused. Your habits are creating your future silently. That's why mastering your day matters so much. Because a successful life is simply successful days repeated over time. Not magic, not luck, just disciplined days. Do not wait until your life falls apart. To value structure, build structure before chaos arrives. Because disciplined habits protect you during difficult seasons. They keep you steady, focused, strong. And over time, those quiet, disciplined days become a powerful life. So wake up with intention. Move with purpose. Protect your focus. Control your emotions. Stay consistent. And remember this. When you quietly master your days, you slowly master your life. 2, developing new skills quietly. Your future is created by what you learn, not by what you already know. Think about that slowly. Most people want a better life, but they rarely focus on becoming more capable, more skilled, more valuable, more useful. And that is the gap, because life does not reward desire. It rewards ability. Now listen carefully. Developing new skills is not loud work. It is quiet work. It happens when nobody is watching, when nobody is praising you, when nobody is clapping for you. It happens in repetition, in practice, in patience. Skill is built in silence, but results are seen in public. Now think of a craftsman. A skilled carpenter does not become great overnight. He learns slowly. He cuts wood wrong many times. He measures incorrectly many times. He corrects himself many times, but he keeps going quietly, patiently. And one day, people admire his work, but they do not see the years of practice behind it. That is how life works. Now, here is a truth most people avoid. If you do not intentionally develop yourself, you will remain where you are, because life does not automatically upgrade your skills. You must upgrade yourself. Now let's make this practical. Choose one skill that will improve your future, not 10. 1, communication, discipline, writing, leadership, a technical skill, a creative skill. Just one. Then commit to it quietly. Study it every day. Practice it every day. Improve it every day, even if it is just 30 minutes. Because consistency matters more than intensity. Small improvements, repeated daily, become unstoppable progress. Now understand this deeply. Most people give up too early, not because the skill is too hard, but because progress is too slow. They expect fast transformation, but skill does not grow fast. It grows steadily, like a tree. You plant it today. You water it tomorrow. You protect it for months, and only later it becomes strong, visible, useful. That is how skills develop. Now let's talk about discomfort. When you learn something new, you will feel uncomfortable. You will make mistakes. You will feel slow. That is normal. That is necessary. Because discomfort is a sign of growth, not failure. If you are comfortable, you are not growing. Now listen carefully. Most people stop when it gets difficult, but successful people continue, not loudly, not dramatically, but quietly, consistently. They practice when they are tired. They learn when they are busy. They improve when nobody notices. And that is why they grow. Now here is a powerful idea. Every skill you develop becomes part of your identity. At first, you struggle. Then you improve. Then you become capable. And finally, You become confident. That is the process. Now think about your life. What skills are you avoiding? What abilities are you delaying? What growth are you postponing? Because time does not wait, and skills do not develop automatically. You must decide, I will improve myself, and then act on it, quietly, daily. Your income is never greater than your skill set. That is not punishment. That is principle. If you want more from life, you must become more capable. Now let's bring it together. Developing skills quietly is powerful because no pressure, no distraction, no ego, just growth, pure growth. And over time, that quiet effort becomes visible success. People will see your confidence, your ability, your results, but they will not see the hours you invested. And that is okay, because real growth does not need attention. It needs consistency. So choose a skill, commit to it, and improve it daily, even when it feels small, even when it feels slow, even when nobody notices, because one day that quiet skill will change your life. What you practice in silence becomes your strength in public. So keep learning, keep improving, keep building yourself quietly, consistently, powerfully. And remember, the skills you build today will build your future tomorrow. Talk less, work more, let results speak. There is a quiet power in silence, not the silence of ignorance, but the silence of discipline. Most people talk about what they are going to do. They explain their plans. They describe their goals. They share their dreams. But after all the talking, very little changes. Because talking is easy. Doing is where life becomes real. The difference between success and failure is not words. It is work. Now think about nature. A seed does not announce its growth. It does not make noise underground. It simply grows quietly, consistently. And one day it becomes a tree, visible, strong, unshakable. That is how your life should be built. Not through constant explanation, but through consistent execution. Now listen carefully. Every time you talk too much about your goals, you release a little bit of the energy needed to achieve them. And slowly, talking replaces doing. You feel productive, but you are not progressing. That is the trap. So instead of saying, I will do it, start doing it. Instead of explaining your plans, execute them. Instead of seeking approval, seek progress. A disciplined life is built in action, not explanation. Now here is a simple truth. The world does not reward ideas. It rewards execution. Everyone has ideas. Few people act on them. Everyone has plans. Few people follow through. That is why action is rare. And because it is rare, it is valuable. Now think about successful people. They are not always the loudest in the room. They are not always talking. They are working quietly, relentlessly. While others are explaining, they are building. While others are posting, they are practicing. While others are planning, they are executing. And over time, that difference becomes obvious. What you do consistently will always speak louder than what you say occasionally. Now, let's bring this closer to your life. Ask yourself, how much time do you spend talking about your goals? And how much time do you spend actually working on them? Because life is watching, and life responds to action, not intention alone. Now understand this deeply. There is nothing wrong with sharing ideas, but there is something dangerous about over-talking them. Because when you talk too much, you reduce urgency. You create false satisfaction. You feel like you've done something when you haven't done anything yet. So reduce the noise. Less explaining, more doing. Less talking, more working. The quiet worker always outperforms the loud talker. Now think of a craftsman again. He does not stand around describing his work. He works. He builds. He improves. And eventually, people notice, not because he announced himself, but because his work spoke for him. That is your path. Let your results introduce you. Let your discipline define you. Let your work represent you, not your words. Now here is the final truth. You don't need to convince the world. You need to commit to your work. And over time, your progress will speak louder than anything you could say. So remember this. Talk less, work more, and let your results do the talking. 4, be patient. Great things take time. Small things happen quickly. Let that sink in. Most people fail not because they lack ability, but because they lack patience. They start something new with excitement. They expect fast results. They want quick change. But life does not work that way. Nature teaches us this clearly. A seed does not become a tree overnight. A river does not carve mountains in a day. A strong foundation is not built in hurry. Everything meaningful takes time. Time is not your enemy. Impatience is. Now listen carefully. Patience is not passive waiting. It is active discipline. It is continuing the work even when results are not visible yet. That is real strength. Because anyone can work when results are coming quickly, but few can continue. When nothing seems to be happening, now think about your own life. How many times have you quit too early? How many times have you changed direction just before progress was about to appear? That is the danger of impatience. It makes you abandon growth too soon. But success is often just beyond the point where most people stop. If you do not quit, you cannot fail permanently. Now understand this deeply. Your effort is never wasted, even when you cannot see results, even when progress feels slow, even when nothing seems to change. Something is happening quietly, internally. You are building discipline. You are building character. You are building resilience. And these things take time. Now let's talk about frustration. Impatient people get frustrated easily. They measure progress daily. They compare themselves to others. They rush the process. But wise people understand something different. They understand seasons. There is a planting season, a waiting season, a growth season, a harvest season. And each season matters. You cannot rush a harvest. You can only prepare for it. What you rush, you ruin. What you respect grows. Now here is a powerful truth. Success is not delayed. It is developed. And development takes time. The person you are becoming cannot be built overnight. Your mindset, your habits, your discipline. These are not instant results. They are slow construction. Now think about a craftsman again. He does not rush his work. He respects the process. He understands that quality takes time. And because of that, his work lasts. That is how your life should be built. Not rushed, not forced, but developed. Now listen carefully. Patience does not mean doing nothing. It means continuing steadily, even when results are invisible, even when motivation fades, even when doubt appears. You stay consistent. You stay committed. You stay patient. Consistency is patience in action. Now let's bring this closer to reality. Every successful person you admire had to wait, had to struggle, had to persist, not for days, but for years. And what kept them going was patience. Now here is the truth most people miss. The delay is not denial. The delay is development. Life is preparing you, shaping you, strengthening you. So when it feels slow, do not stop, because slow progress is still progress. Now let's conclude this idea. Patience is not weakness. It is wisdom. It is the ability to trust the process. When the outcome is not yet visible, it is the discipline to continue when others quit. And that is where success is formed. Quietly, gradually, powerfully. So remember this. Be patient with your growth. Be consistent with your effort. And trust the process you cannot yet see. 5. Protect your energy. Stop giving yourself to everything. Guard your time like it is your greatest asset, because it is. Now listen carefully. One of the most overlooked principles of success is energy management. Not just time management, but energy, because your energy is your life force. It determines how you think, how you act, how you perform, how you grow. And most people lose it daily without even realizing it. They give it to distractions. They give it to people. They give it to noise. They give it to things that do not matter. And by the end of the day, they have nothing left for themselves. Where your energy goes, your life flows. Now think about this carefully. Not everything deserves your attention. Not every message deserves a reply. Not every opinion deserves a reaction. Not every situation deserves your involvement. But most people act as if everything is urgent. Everything is important. Everything needs their response. And that is how energy gets scattered. Now let's go deeper. Your energy is like water in a container. If the container has too many holes, the water leaks out everywhere. Nothing remains. But if you protect the container, the water stays strong, focused, useful. That is your life. If you allow everything to enter your mind, you will become mentally exhausted. If you allow everyone to access your time, you will become emotionally drained. If you allow every distraction to pull you, you will lose direction. A focused mind creates a powerful life. A scattered mind creates confusion. Now here is a truth most people ignore. Your environment is shaping your energy every day. The conversations you engage in, the content you consume, the people you spend time with, the emotions you allow in, all of it matters. Because energy is transferable. If you surround yourself with negativity, you will slowly become negative. If you surround yourself with focus, you will become focused. That is why protection is necessary. Not isolation, but protection. Now listen carefully. Protecting your energy means saying no. No to distractions. No to unnecessary stress. No to time-wasting habits. No to people who drain your focus. And yes, to growth, to peace, to discipline, to purpose. You cannot build a strong life with scattered energy. Now let's bring this into real life. Ask yourself, what is draining me? What is stealing my focus? What is weakening my discipline? Because awareness is the first step to change. Now understand this deeply. High performers are not always doing more. They are doing less, but better. They eliminate noise. They reduce distractions. They focus their energy on what matters. And that is why they progress faster. Because focus multiplies effort. 1 hour of focused work is worth more than 10 hours of distracted effort. Now think about your daily routine. How many things are pulling your attention? How many things are stealing your focus? How many things are weakening your energy? And how many of them actually matter? Discipline is not only what you do, it is what you refuse. Now let's go deeper. Protecting your energy also means protecting your mind, because your mind is where decisions are made, and decisions shape your life. So if your mind is cluttered, your decisions become weak. If your mind is clear, your decisions become powerful. That is why stillness matters. Silence matters. Focus matters. Now listen carefully. You don't need to respond to everything. You don't need to react to everything. You don't need to be involved in everything. You need to stay centered, focused, strong, because every distraction you avoid becomes energy you keep. And every bit of energy you keep becomes power you use for your future. A disciplined life is a protected life. Now let's bring this home. Protect your mornings. Protect your focus. Protect your emotions. Protect your attention. Because if you give your energy away too easily, you will never have enough left to build your life. But if you protect it, if you guard it, if you use it wisely, something powerful happens. You begin to grow faster, think clearer, act stronger, and slowly your life starts to change. So remember this. Stop giving yourself to everything. Start giving yourself to what matters. Your life is shaped by what you allow into your mind. Now listen carefully. If you want to build a strong life, you must first build a strong mind, because everything starts there. Every decision, every habit, every direction you take, it begins in your thinking. And that is why your mind must be protected, not from effort, but from noise, from distractions, from negativity, from confusion, because the world is full of it. Everywhere you look, negative conversations, negative thinking, negative environments, constant distractions, constant information, constant noise. And if you are not careful, it will enter your mind. And once it enters, it begins to shape your thinking. What you allow in your mind today becomes your life tomorrow. Now think about this deeply. A garden does not grow without protection. If you plant something valuable, you must also protect it from weeds, from animals, from anything that destroys growth. And your mind is the same. You are planting ideas. You are planting habits. You are planting direction. But if you allow negativity to enter freely, it will destroy your growth quietly. Now listen carefully. Distractions are not always loud. Sometimes they are silent. Sometimes they feel harmless. Sometimes they feel normal, but they steal your focus slowly. They weaken your discipline slowly. They reduce your potential slowly. And that is why they are dangerous, because you don't notice the damage until time has passed. A distracted mind cannot build a disciplined life. Now here is a truth most people ignore. Your mind is always absorbing something, always learning something, always being shaped by something. So the question is not, is my mind being influenced? The question is, what is influencing my mind? Because whatever you consume repeatedly, you become. Now let's talk about negativity. Negativity is heavy. It slows you down. It weakens your thinking. It drains your energy. And most people carry it without realizing. Through conversations, through thoughts, through environments. But successful people are selective, very selective. They don't accept every opinion. They don't absorb every emotion. They don't engage in every negative conversation. They protect their inner world because they understand something powerful. A strong life requires a protected mind. Guard your thoughts like you guard your future, because they are the same thing. Now let's bring this closer. What are you watching every day? What are you listening to? What are you thinking about repeatedly? What kind of people are influencing you? Because all of it is shaping your mindset, quietly, constantly. Now here is the truth. You cannot build discipline in a chaotic mind. You cannot build focus in a distracted mind. You cannot build success in a negative mind. You must first create clarity. And clarity comes from protection. Protecting your attention, protecting your emotions, protecting your thoughts. Now listen carefully. You do not need more information. You need more focus. You do not need more noise. You need more silence. You do not need more distraction. You need more direction. Focus is the art of saying no to everything that does not matter. Now let's go deeper. When you protect your mind, something powerful begins to happen. You think more clearly. You act more intentionally. You make better decisions. And slowly, your life improves. Not because the world changed, but because your thinking changed. Now here's the final truth. Your mind is your greatest asset, but also your most vulnerable one. So guard it carefully. Feed it wisely. Train it daily, because whatever enters your mind will eventually shape your life. So choose wisely. Choose discipline over distraction. Choose clarity over confusion. Choose growth over negativity. And remember this, a protected mind creates a powerful life. Now bring everything together. 6 quiet ways. 6 disciplines. 6 decisions. Master your day. Develop your skills. Talk less, work more. Be patient. Protect your energy. Protect your mind. This is not loud work. It is silent work, but it creates a powerful life because success does not come to noise. It comes to discipline. It comes to focus. It comes to people who build themselves quietly. So stay consistent. Stay focused. Stay disciplined.